All right, everybody. Welcome to SMA Live. We are back. It's been quite a while since I did a live show. Definitely want to give props to my man Junior from Team Proper for the nice T-shirt I'm sporting tonight. And we have a very special guest that is on the line. You all know him. I mean, he's world famous. He's well known. He's well liked, and he's well loved. Welcome back to SMA Live, Mr. Raymond Daniels. Ray, how's it going, buddy?
I'm doing great. No complaints, man. Just enjoying another beautiful day here in Southern California.
You know, actually, go ahead, give me a tease. What was the temperature like today?
Oh, man, I think what was the temperature today? It was it was like maybe about 75, 80, something like that, man. It's really nice, man. So I have no complaints in the world, man.
Man, that's SoCal life. Most of us are just hitting fall, and you know, it's something. I've been to Southern California during our winter, and you can't beat those 75, 70-degree days when the rest of us are freezing our butts off, man.
Oh yeah, I know, man. I've been over to the East Coast a few times, and I've just been thinking like, you know, fall and winter over there. And sometimes I'm like, how do you guys live over here? I mean, we can go to the beach pretty much year round. I can see the snow from afar in the mountains and go up there, snowboard and everything. But the cool thing is I can leave when I want to and get back to the sun. So
that is true. You know what? California is the only state that I think that you can go to every part of that state and get every season. As you mentioned, you can go up to Big Bear and get winter. You could drive down to San Diego and deal with eternal summer, and then there's spring and fall all in between. Yes,
sir. Exactly. That's why it's probably why they charge us so much to live here. We're paying for the weather.
You know, I never thought about that. That is probably it. Maybe they should break it into 4 states. But
right.
Hey, the big news is, for those of you that have been living under a rock and haven't heard, I'm talking to the Bellator welterweight world champion right now. I mean, hats off to you, sir. Definitely round of applause. I mean, try to put it into words for me. When your opponent didn't answer the bell and you knew you won that belt right in there, what did you feel?
I mean, honestly, it's been unreal, even to this day, to go out and represent my craft and represent sport karate, and because everybody's always got something kind of funny or negative to say about sport karate. It's not real fighting. That's just what we choose to do, you know. But you have some of the best and greatest athletes in the world that are sport martial artists. So everybody that's always doubted us and said that, you know, those people that fight like this, it's just cats just playing tag. Now they realize they have to respect where we come from. So it's been a dream come true to win the title and to let everybody know and to carry the weight of sport karate, sport martial arts on my back, and kind of lead by example. Let everybody that is in our sport that we can accomplish whatever we want, and none of them. No one can stop us from accomplishing what we want, you know, and that other fighters, they need to respect our style, whether they be in MMA, whether they be in kickboxing. So it's been a great feeling to get to this point, and then during the actual fight, I mean, my opponent had over the fight, so they always try to say that you know, I have a lack of experience, but I always tell them it's hard to put into a number the amount of experience that I've had from competing at the Irish Open, the National, American. I've had to compete at all these tournaments all over the world. So you can't really put a number of how many fights I've actually had in my life, you know? Mm-hmm. So, you know, they look at me as having less experience, but I feel like I have more experience than anybody that will ever step in the ring with me, because every time I fought any of those opponents, no matter where I was in the world, those were real fights with the person trying to take me out. So, you know, I stepped into that ring there with all that knowledge and that experience with me, and I ended up coming out and getting the W and getting a first round finish. I wasn't expecting. My corner and everybody kind of knew that I won actually even before I did. I've been trying to tell everybody it was a little anticlimactic for me at the beginning, because I didn't even know I won. I didn't even was able to answer the bell at first, so it kind of caught me off by surprise. And normally I'm like, hit somebody with a crazy technique and maybe going to hit them with another crazy technique, and, you know, and then there's that big explosive celebration. So I didn't get that, because by the time I got myself getting ready for the second round, the ref told me, "Oh, it's over. It felt too bad." But the most interesting thing that I find how the world brings everything back into balance, the universe kind of brings everything back into balance. As you know, I fought for a world title 2 years ago in Glory, and I came up a little bit short. Why did I come up short? I got cut, and the referee stopped the fight, and they said I couldn't. And then I come out and I win a world title 2 years later from a knee, just like I got stopped with, from a cut, just like I got stopped with. So it's just interesting how the universe balances itself out, and I'm excited about, the world champion for Bellator. I'm a world champion in point fighting, so I don't know if there's too many people in the point fighting world champion and the full contact world champion.
I mean, I can think of one. I think I'm talking to that guy right now. It is quite amazing, the career that you've had that has spanned. And one of the things that I've had the unique thing to do is I remember going to the Compete Nationals a long time ago, and we fought these two little young kids, and they were wearing Kanai uniforms. And I didn't think about that. I was talking to Jesse Ray, but I was like, that was a young Raymond and a young Jason. I mean, you guys have been in the game for so long, but you were after it back then. I know you were, you absolutely were not, quote unquote, in the adult division. You weren't 18 yet, but you guys were after it still then. Being the competitor that you are, do you even remember your first lesson when you wanted to start? I know your father's involved. Do you remember that first day you set foot on the mat?
No, I don't. I don't remember my first day actually stepping on the mat, but I do remember getting my first karate uniform. I remember my dad came and was just like, "All right, we're gonna start you at karate tomorrow." He gave me a uniform, and I actually remember going to sleep in my karate uniform because I was like so excited about doing karate the next day. Like, oh, I get to do karate. I'm like, oh, can I wear it to sleep? So I wore it my PJs. I didn't take it off for a few days or whatever the case. I do remember that conversation, and I wore it around the house like they were my PJs for a while. No, it's a lifelong journey for me. I think that's what people don't realize about the martial arts. It's more about teaching you life skills, and it's a lifelong, not like basketball that teaches you a good skill set. This is a lifelong pursuit of improvement. So.
Well, that goes right from there. It's you're absolutely right. It is a lifelong journey. Let me ask you this, since we're still kind of going in, we'll stay in the sports karate world, but we want to send a reminder out to everyone. Check your local listings. Is it Friday on Spike TV to watch the actual fight?
Yeah. This Friday on Spike TV, you guys can get a chance at it on the stream. I appreciate everybody tuning in to that as well. But you'll be able to see it live. I'd ask everybody to go out and support, because the reason why it wasn't played live is because they don't know if they can get enough support from our support for kickboxing, for karate world. So if you guys all do me that favor, tune in this Friday, find your local listing, and that way Bellator can get the that they need to get in order to make sure that doesn't happen in future events are be held, be live. So therefore, it creates and opens doors for our sport. But in order to do that, we always do it. And I appreciate if you guys have on Friday, check it. Be one of your own. Somebody that comes.
We'll definitely try to send a reminder out. You're absolutely right. You got to get the support, got to get the numbers. People do pay attention to those things, especially in television. And that reminds me, when I came to watch your Glory fight in Hampton, Virginia, when you were fighting for Glory, that knockout that you had on armbang single-handedly, I think, put Glory Kickboxing on the match. It was one of the most watched videos, I think it was called the Knockout of the Year, human highlight reel. And if I remember right, it was Joe Rogan himself who tweeted out the next day, "I wish Raymond Daniels would fight every weekend. I love watching him."
Yeah, he's been really cool and said really cool stuff about me, and they were calling it like the knockout of the century, and I was just pretty stoked that like their first knockout they had that pretty much went viral, and just blew up all around the world. I'm sure it's still their most highly watched video and stuff like that. People still hit me up about it. But yeah, man, it was an opportunity to go out there. I had before that fight, I experienced my first loss, and so I wanted to come out and I wanted to do something that kind of echoed through eternity and throughout the universe that people would remember, and that's kind of what happened in my mind and happened in that moment.
That is exactly. If you've been on Mars and you haven't seen that, you absolutely need to see it. I think anybody that was involved in sports karate who saw you take a step backwards knew what was coming. I knew what was coming. There were two people who didn't know what was coming. Your opponent, I think, the ref, Dan Mergliotta, who didn't know exactly what was going to happen, but it did. It's world famous, and we've got an instant classic right there. Let me take it on over to. I know you're in a relationship with Colby Northcutt, and what is it like to have someone that understands exactly what you do? A lot of people. I mean, I'm not saying that. Just as a parent would be afraid to watch their kid go in the ring and fight, I know there's still fear. Just like you when you watch her fight, there's still that like little tickle in your stomach because this is the person you care for is going out there. But what is the relationship like to have someone that is involved in the same art as you, and you guys support each other? You're there for her event. She's there for you. She's an absolutely wonderful person. But what is it like to have that dynamic with your partner?
It's an interesting thing to have with somebody. Something I've been eating and I'm really enjoying it. That's totally different than any other relationship that I've had. Somebody that supports you with your vision, with your dreams. You know what I mean? That has your back. That calls you out, eating stuff like that. You know what I mean? That she's there for me spiritually. She's there for me in every way. I mean, down to my meals, even leading up to my fight week. Like the easiest weight cut I've ever had to do. She cooks my meals, makes sure diet is on point and everything like that. So it's a great feeling to know that you have somebody there and that is supporting you and has got your back no matter what. Honestly, for me, having to go out there and fight, I think I was more nervous about her going out there and fight than I'm nervous about myself. Just for the simple fact that I don't know, I hadn't really experienced it, being on the flip side of it. So I felt like I was trying other guys, my coaches, and that were in the corner with us and stuff, like, I got to try and keep it together right now because I know she's about to go out there and fight, and I'm getting a little bit emotional. I got to be, I got to be strong right now. But that's the beautiful things, whether through the ups, through the downs, through the wins, through the losses, through the injuries and stuff like that. Knowing that you have somebody there that's going to support you no matter what. I was able to go out and be successful at this fight, world title, because I knew he had that, and to feel comfortable and at home in your personal relationship life is, was really good. There's always something that's a little bit off, no matter where you're at in life, whether it be your religion, whether it be your personal relationship. And for this particular camp, it was a little bit rough. It was great with her. My son got really sick fight week. So no one knew, but I had to spend like 3 or 4 days in the hospital, sleeping on a little couch that was like 4 feet, and I'm a 6-foot dude. Sleep on that for like 3 days, having to run 10 miles, just doing laps around the hospital in order to keep myself in shape, doing shadow boxing, into people's gyms just so I could work out, just to keep myself physically prepared for fight week for the camp. But fortunately, he's doing a lot better now. He's actually out of the hospital. So there's different things that life and curveballs that life throws at you. You're never fully balanced in that aspect. But I'm grateful that things working out now.
That is absolutely true. And one of the things that's great is last time I saw you guys was in Vegas over the summer. And you guys really got a special thing going together. You just seem to complement each other quite well. What's now, and also with Colby comes her brother, of course, Sage. What's your relationship like with Sage?
Oh, Sage is a good dude. Sage is actually one of the nicest people that I know. A lot of people even think his personality is fake because he's so nice, and you have to do a double take. Like, wow, there is actually really like nice and genuine people like that, like Sage is. So I need to Sage stuff a little bit. He's over at Alpha right now, training and stuff like that. But yeah, whenever then I work with him with the dead stuff, kicking him some knowledge for me and my experiences over the years. The kid is a beast. He's had a couple little rough patches with fighting. Yeah, but what people don't realize is, one, is only 21 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He is a supreme athlete, and the only time he's ever lost is when he fought that were heavier than what his normal weight.
That's true.
When he should be fighting at 55 pounds. At 155 pounds, I guarantee you, even the champs cannot deal with what he had. He tried to fight at a heavier weight class, which is just being young and being inexperienced. You know what I mean? And those are life lessons for him. You know what I mean? And I think he's going to be, honestly, one of the next UFC champs and UFC greats. Not only because he's basically like part of the family, but like he's such an athlete and has such a great attitude about everything, and he's like a sponge. So everything that he sees, he really absorbs it. I've worked a couple lessons with Sage, and he just absorbs any and everything that I give to him. And he's got a great attitude about it. And I think, honestly, that's what the MMA sport needs. MMA needs is somebody that a clean-cut kid with a great attitude. So that way you got a new wave of setting examples instead of people trash-talking each other like they do.
That is true. If you haven't met Sage before, he is genuinely just the nicest guy in the world. And we had a pose down in Vegas, which if you go to our page at Sport Martial Arts page, you can see that pose down. I'm going to tell you right now, I won. I mean, but go see for yourselves. And Sage has an upcoming fight actually in Norfolk, Virginia. Back, things come full circle. Are you guys planning? Are you planning to be there for that?
Oh, for his fight in Virginia?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if we have an opportunity and I have some free time and I'm not training right now, I just might be, I'm not sure if I'm going to have to fight again soon. So just depending what my schedule looks like and stuff like that, I would like to go out there and support him and stuff like that. He came down to my fight, actually, and out in San Jose to support me. So I definitely would like to return the favor and, go out there and support him in his next fight.
Yeah, I've already bought my tickets. I got floor seats. You come to Virginia with the UFC, I'm buying tickets right away. So,
I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you.
Let's take it back again from where you were telling the, just to peel back the curtain a little bit, what it's like. You mentioned that you were, your son was in the hospital, and most people, I mean, as a parent, as a father, your kids are sick, you drop everything and go. And the thing is that the stress level for you is like, man, I got this world championship fight coming up. I still have to cut weight. I still have to do rounds. I still have to do this. What is it, speaking of the weight cut, everyone always talks about the weight cut, whether it's an MMA or, kickboxing, something where you have to maintain a set weight. What's the worst thing about cutting weight, and what do you crave while cutting weight? I'll give you an example. I talked to Wonder Boy, and Wonder Boy says, look, I don't drink beer, but when I'm cutting weight, I want this dark, beer. Last UFC thing, he said he was craving pizza. What is it that you crave?
Oh man, you like I think when you're doing a weight cut, the worst thing is like your senses go up. Like your sense of smell is like off the chain. You're like, what is that? What is it? Is that taco? Yeah, I remember they got refried beans and wait, what is that? That so your sense of smell is just like magnified tenfold. So it's so crazy. So you can smell and almost like taste everything. But me, I actually have I call it my shrine. I may send you a picture of it after. I love potato chips.
Oh.
Potato chips are my thing. But also Reese's Pieces. I love some Reese's Pieces as well. So I built this shrine of junk food in my room. My coaches come in and they just laugh at me every time. I have a big shrine of Funyuns, cheese puffs, Doritos, donuts, Oreos, Reese's Pieces, Snickers, and it's just like a shrine. And people walk in, they're like, "Whoa, why do you got that?" I'm like, "Well, if I go in and I finish this guy really fast,
that's my reward.
Come back, get to this right now." So my whole crew loves it because I go in there, I finish my guy in the first round. They're like, "Why did you finish so fast?" I had to get back to my junk food, and then we just go back, and my whole team goes through, and we just splurge and just eat all the stuff that I've been cutting out for the last 2 to 3 months. So I blow up like a tick out, but hey, it's all worth
You know, everybody has their own thing, and you're exactly right. When you're restricting yourself from things that you could just say, "Hell, I'd like to have some potato chips," all you can do is think about that, and it's tough enough to do that. Let me ask you this. So you said, if I remember right, that the Irish Open was your last sports karate match. And
yes, sir.
What was it like to walk out there knowing that that was the last time for sports karate? But, you know, you kind of got to be reflective over your entire career, you know, the ups and downs, the highs, the lows. What was it like to go out there that last match knowing this is going to be the final time?
You know, it was a really emotional experience for me, honestly, because honestly, I'm doing it because of my own thing. Honestly, I feel like I can still beat any sport karate fighter right now. So, but I wanted to really focus on what it is that's accomplished in becoming, you know, the ambassador of our sport for the world. You know what I mean, and representing. So it was really an emotional thing for me to go out to compete, and you know, that's to be on the level and at the top I have for the number of years that I had. I felt like, and reflecting on it all, it's been like such a great road and such a great experience. As I've met so many people, so I got a little even kind of choked up before I was going up for like my last match, and this has been a great ride. And the reason why I'm able to have the success that I am in the full contact world is because of all the experiences that I've had fighting against the Tensions, the Zolts, the Rosses, the Jack Phelps, the Mike Pomeros. You know what I mean? All those experiences are what make me successful in what it is that I do now. So to go out there and to compete for the last time, and honestly, I've thought about like, oh, maybe I should compete on my last time on U.S. soil. But in order to move forward, sometimes you have to go over. And it's not that I'm ever going to forget my sport by any. In fact, I know that people haven't seen me out. It's because I'm working on the kickboxing title, but I've also been in the lab with a pen and a pad, working on my evolution fighting, and you know, working on my gift back to the sport, coming out with basically a curriculum blueprint of my own personal experiences and how studios and teachers and students can learn to do the exact techniques and drills that I have done from day one in order to have a career like me, in order to skill sets like I have. So what takes you to be on that level? Because, you know, don't get me wrong, there's been some great ones, and my whole goal has always been to be so great of all time. So, you know, leaving that sport behind, I hope that people appreciate what I've done over the years with it. And, you know, I wanted to set a precedent that, you know, it's going to be hard for anybody to follow, but which inspires other people to try. Great. So yeah, no, we're really emotional to go out and do it, and I was happy. I mean, I didn't get the W at the end. You know, sometimes when you go over to Europe, it's a little bit rough. I don't really try not to point any fingers and things like that. But I felt like I was on my A game at that fight, and I feel like certain calls go your way. But as is with sport party, you know, what are you gonna do? You can't cry about it, you can't whine about it. You know, you just go out there and you compete at your best. And sometimes cards fall in a different direction, but at the end of the day, you know, I was happy with my form. Felt like I was I feel like I'm still at the top of the food chain that I had chosen to be.
That is absolutely true. Sometimes they don't get that way. Now, where can they go to get information about your new fighting system that is coming out?
Oh, they can go to evolutionfightingsystem.com. And we'll have a whole lot of information coming out on it and stuff like that. I've been, like I said, really working on that. I'll be coming back on my seminar tours and stuff like that. Near future, one of the first spots I'm going is over actually with my man Jody Tension over to his Jody's winter camp up in New York.
That's right.
So I'm excited about that in December. That'll be one of the little first places that I go to for a seminar. Then I'll be doing a seminar in Europe to do here in the States and stuff. And so everybody will be getting blessed about the evolution system. So let everybody know the evolution is coming, and what it is basically my give back support to try and make my sport a better place when I first came and make competitors. Like when I first went over to Europe, the competition level over there was not as great as it is. So we helped them step their game up. But I also want to see, us continue to grow as a sport here in the States. So my system is what I'm doing, and in order to get back to our sport, to make our sport great again.
That is absolutely one of the things that, and I definitely have to give a tip of the hat to you, both you and Johnny Tension. You guys are spreading the knowledge, tirelessly working seminars. I have never seen you be too busy for a photo or an autograph for for people that are coming up in the sport, and that's something to be commended for everybody who does that. And I think it's an excellent example to be set. Just like we're gonna go ahead and I've held you, I know, for a half an hour. I want to get you on. I'm gonna ask you one more question, which I'm gonna make it tough, and I'll give you an easy out. Who has your toughest, for sports karate, who is your toughest rival, your toughest opponent? Who has that been? Or if you want to break that down to maybe your top 3 or top 5, there's your easy out. But I got to ask you, who has given you the most problems?
Let's see. There's been different stages of my life that I had to overcome certain people depending where I was in my martial arts career. My youngest, so I'll give you a few different ones.
Okay.
My youngest rival that first made me become myself and to really push myself to be the best was actually Ryan Huntley. Ryan used to beat the snot out of me when we were kids, and he was my very first nemesis that I had to overcome. Then it would have been Mike Pombero, because Mikey was over here and dominating at that time. Mike Pombero, Jason Tankton, Borelli, Jody Tension. Actually been my toughest opponent, probably. Jody's actually probably been one of my toughest opponents, Trevor Nash. But Jody's been my toughest. He's probably beaten me more times than anybody else. Meaning, like, not that I don't think there's really a fight out there that's beaten me more times than I've beaten them. But Jody's probably beaten me more times than any other fighter. And then when I was younger, also, I was a kid fighting adults, like when I was back in the Kenai Day. Besides, it was over here on the West Coast, and I got to give him Leo Career. Used to give me the hardest of time. He used to give me such a hard time. But I was a kid. I was like 15, 16, trying to fight adults, and he used to get me. And then when I got a little bit older, I 10-point spreaded him, and he retired after that. He was like, all right, ring's time to come in now. So it's a good time. But I've had a whole lot of fun and a whole lot of different ways. Some of them have been made over the years. And then I can't forget about my main man that developed my blitz so fast with the good deep side jack. I've had a lot of great competitors.
Well, we know, and it's 30 minutes doesn't do your career and your accomplishments justice, but that's all I want to hold you for. We know you'll be at the TCK Winners Camp, but are we going to see you any other place soon? Any other sports karate tournaments?
Yeah, I'll be at a few different sports karate tournaments, either doing seminars. I'll be out there with my fighting system. I'll be out there on that to like I said, to give back to my sport and to continue to help. And then I got some other things in the work right now, but I'll keep that on the low until we do our next interview.
Well, you definitely should contact us so that we can help you spread that word. Mr. Daniels, I certainly appreciate the time. Enjoy that belt, and we definitely will see you sooner than later.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And thanks a lot. I appreciate all you guys tuning in this Friday for my fight. I appreciate all that support and all that love. Just like I said, continue to so that way we can show what our sport does. Go out there and support us this weekend. Thank you.
Absolutely. There he is, Bellator welterweight world title holder Raymond Daniels. Ray, I'll catch you soon. Thank you, brother.
All right, talk to you, brother.
Bye. Wow, that hey, that is the man himself. Want to remind you about our upcoming events. Of course, this weekend is the Raymond's won a ton of these diamond rings at the Diamond Nationals. That's this weekend in Minnesota. And of course, upcoming is going to be the incredibly hot WKC World Championships, November 4th through 11th. We'll be bringing you coverage to all that. Not to be outdone, of course, is going to be the wonderful Pan American Internationals. No, it did not get canceled. It is in Miami, and Alex Reyes and the crew are ready for everyone to come on. And also, starting next week, the 9th through the 16th, we'll be bringing you live coverage from the ITF 2017 World Championships in Dublin, Ireland. This is traditional Taekwondo. It is going to be a very good and a very interesting look at something we normally as sport karate guys don't look at, but it's the roots of the Taekwondo system. It's going to be very exciting, and I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys with a commercial, a promo for them. We'll see you at the Diamond Nationals this weekend, and of course catch you at the ITF World Championships the week following. Take it easy, guys.